one. Yeah, so Marian McGuinness is here with me in Cavan. I'd say you're in Cavan at the moment, Marian, yeah?
I am, yeah. Still here.
So
Haven't ventured as well.
you look great first and foremost, because when we spoke last, it was Thursday the 2nd of April, and you revealed to me that you were in self-isolation at the time because you had received confirmation of a positive test for COVID-19. So we're sitting here, I just checked my watch, 21st of April, which is effectively 3 weeks later, Marian. The first question I want to ask is a very obvious question. How are you feeling, and how's life now?
Yeah, feeling really good, thanks. Energy right back up there. No pains, no aches at all. Feel overall really, really good. Still just haven't got my full smell back yet, and I have almost full taste. But just the smell, I definitely have some smell, still just not full smell. But other than that, I would say I'm back like to 100%. I feel 100%, yeah.
Excellent, good to hear. Marian, are you back at work?
Yeah, back at work. I was out of isolation after the 2 weeks anyway, and then had a few days, which was actually great to get out of my room and go for walks and just build up energy again, and then was back to work.
So just to tell viewers and listeners a little bit about what you do for a living, Marian.
Yeah, I'm a physiotherapist and currently working in Cavan General Hospital. And then at the minute my work is all with acute care. So currently with all of the inpatients in Cavan General, whether they be COVID positive patients or COVID negative patients. That's what I'm doing currently. Other times I don't always do the inpatients, I do a bit of everything, but now I'm doing all the inpatient stuff. Yeah.
Marian, did the positive test, can I take you back to the test when you tested positive, maybe how, when looking back, how you contracted it, did the positive test come as a surprise? Just all that kind of jumble of emotions that you went through at that time, if you don't mind kind of recapping on all of that for us.
Yeah, I think as I said to you the last time at the start, I wasn't sure, I just knew I didn't feel well. Okay. And then I contacted my manager, who had said, don't come in and we'll get you swabbed. So as my symptoms developed over the first few days, even before I got the positive result, I kind of thought, I'm pretty sure I definitely have this. And then when the positive result came back, it just confirmed it. I suppose because there had been so much talk about it initially, I suppose I was a little anxious, thinking, oh goodness, I hope that I don't get a really severe form of it, and I hope that I don't end up really, really, really sick. Sure. I never ever felt really, really sick. Like I didn't ever think I was going to have to go to hospital or anything, but I suppose definitely there was a little bit of anxiety around just hoping that, knowing that you should, by all intents and purposes, you should be fine, but just hoping that you are.
Absolutely. What were your initial symptoms, Marian?
Fatigue, a lot of fatigue, and muscle soreness, like all body ache, legs, hips, my back. I thought I wanted to change the night before. I said I'm going to get a new mattress. My back is killing me, and my neck. So just all lots of pains. And then after a couple of days, I got a little bit of a cough, just a really small cough, and then I had a mild temperature, only just for 24 hours. And then after the temperature went away, then my smell and my taste then went away. Okay. And the fatigue and the pains kind of stayed for about a week or so. Okay,
bear with me, Marian, because I'm going to go to a brighter area. I'm conscious that it's a little bit dark where I am here, but stay with me. Okay. So Marian, obviously then there was a period of self-isolation for you, which, I know from speaking to Siobhan Killeen in Dublin, that she would have found that quite challenging. I mean, you're in a very confined space for a long period of time. How did you manage all that?
Yeah, it was weird. Obviously, normally, like most people, I'm never much in my room other than to read or to sleep. So yeah, it was weird. Definitely, my other housemate had it, and our other housemate Catherine was like literally looking after the two of us. So really, only for her it would have been so much worse. She, was checking in, are you okay, and do you need anything, and making cups of tea and bringing them outside the door and everything. So but it was just strange not being able to leave the four walls of the bedroom, other than to go out and use the toilet right next door, which was my toilet, and then come back in. So I joked to Catherine that it was like a really luxurious, really kindly looked after jail, because I had to just go out and back in. But it was so luxurious. But it was just you're either sitting on the bed or standing beside the bed, or that was all.
Okay, and so you live with work colleagues as well. You were explaining that to me in the piece as well, Marian.
Yeah. So the two girls are physios as well, and they're currently in Cavan general as well. So we're all back to work now. But yeah, we were all off for that period.
Okay. Given what you went through and what you experienced and being back at work, which is obviously a very, very important aspect of your life, do you have a greater appreciation for going into work, of quite a simple maybe thing for people that they might take for granted so much, but to have a good stable job, to be in a position where you're very much at the front line as well, Marian, and being in that position to help people, has it given you a new appreciation for all of that?
Yeah, like I had never so much looking forward to going back to work. To have that structure, to have that routine, and then to be able to get out and to go back to kind of like a normal life, and then to know that you were actually able to try to help people and be a very small part of the frontline services, and just doing your little part, and and the morale and everything in work is so good. Like everybody is so supportive for each other, and everybody's checking in with everybody, and how are you feeling, and did you get your lunch, and there's bottles of water there and everything. So everybody's being really supportive with each other. But it's lovely being at work, which might sound strange, but because everybody is working hard and everybody's like fighting together, I guess, and then having been off work. And then lots of my friends and family have unfortunately lost their jobs. So I'm thankful to have a job to do and to really love the job that I do, which is a bonus, I guess.
Okay, and what is morale like in the hospital in general? Because it's obviously a very challenging time for people.
Yeah, I have to say it's really good, which might sound strange, but it's really good because everybody is confident and positive and optimistic, and knowing that everybody's working together and that the patients are getting the best care, and that everybody is helping each other out, and making sure, did you do that, and that, and like just working together. And it's actually a really nice time to be working, even like MDT, so physios with the OTs, with the nurses, with the doctors. We're all like working together extra hard, it feels. So it's really nice time for everybody to be working together, strangely enough.
Okay. Marian, it might seem a little bit trivial to be talking about the weather, and I can see from your background there, it seems to be a nice sunny day, and it's the same where I am here. And I've said it to a few people over the last while. Imagine if we were in the middle of this pandemic and it was the depths of winter, or I think just the fact that we've got some sunny days, and maybe it gives you a little glimpse of hope that, things will eventually be okay.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the weather is having a massive part. Like I feel on my own, even how you feel, because it's bright in the morning, it's bright until nearly 9 in the evening. Luckily, you can go for a walk, you can sit outside, you can stand outside, you can be outside, and have your feet in the ground, or sit in the ground, or lie in the grass, if you like. And it just definitely adds to energy and to feeling. I mean, if it was long, dark, dreary days, it would be a lot harder for me. It would be a lot harder for everybody. So yeah, I think like everyone is thankful that we're getting some nice Irish weather at this time, because it makes it a bit easier for us all.
It absolutely does. Marian, look, you've obviously experienced that challenge in your life over the past little while, but you're no stranger to a challenge as well from your footballing career. You decided to make the switch from home to Cavan. You were looking forward to getting stuck in with some new teammates in your new club there as well. So that kind of stuff is on the back burner at the moment, but are you still in touch with the girls via group messaging and all that kind of stuff? And how much are you looking forward to the day when you can have those collective sessions and look forward to a new club career in a new county?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as per every friendship group and every team in the country, we have a couple of WhatsApp groups going, and they are active every day, with girls checking in on each other and with girls posting their workout, their home workout. their runs, whatever they've done that day. And so just kind of all putting in our little parts about what we're doing, because we all do want to try to keep in some sort of shape, I guess, for the day that we can go back and collectively train together. And I'd say that day, whenever it is, like, everyone will be at training early, and everyone can't wait to get back out and get back training. And look, we don't know what's going to happen, but definitely we're all thinking and hoping that there's going to be some training and that there's going to be some games and hopefully a championship to look forward to. It's strange for my first year to be playing club football in Cavan. Yes. And to be a year like this where club football in Cavan and every county is very much up in the air.
And does the group chat still keep that sense of accountability? Like, as you say, you're posting in what you're doing, or the little session you've done that day. There's obviously nothing will compare to being on the pitch and seeing what each other is doing directly in the flesh right beside you. But at least there is, maybe you can say, right, okay, I got that run done, and you post it in, and it does keep people kind of ticking along as well, and maybe give somebody the motivation when they see something coming in. They might say, oh, I don't know if I fancy today, but something comes in and they get out and do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even social media now, there's the 5K challenges and everything. Yeah. Like, that little bit of pressure, albeit from your teammates, from your friends, from social media, is only in 99% of the case a good thing, because lots of times now it's easy to feel like not doing it because you don't have the extrinsic motivation of the game on Saturday night.
Sure.
So you have to kind of motivate yourself, but then when you get that text from the group saying, I've just done my runs, I've just done my workout, I've just done my online circuit class, you're thinking, right, okay, well, I have to do it now because they're expecting me to do it as well, of course, which is why we're a team and why we're all thinking they're going.
Are you one of the ones, Marian, that would post first, or would you wait for someone to post and then do your thing?
No, I'm not actually. This time around, if you ask the Cruppen girls, I would have been the person who's nagging on to everybody.
Okay.
But with Lacken, I'm trying to be a little bit less crazy in your face. So I'm sitting back definitely a little more than I would have done. But that's just until they get to know me, and then I can nag a bit more.
Look, obviously it would have been a wrench to leave Carrickcruppen and to move to Lacken Ladies, Marian, I'm sure. But look, it made so much sense for you on a number of levels.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. Like, I had trained with the Lacken girls. They were so lovely on and off over the years. Anytime I was around in the evening and they were training, they'd say, come on out, and I would have just kicked around with them and trained. So it was an easy decision as to Lacken to come to the girls because they were so welcoming, but it's so hard to leave Carrickcruppen. Like, my dad would have been one of the starting coaches and managers in Carrickcruppen and lifelong friends, like, and particularly the likes of Caroline, like myself and her would have played together at club and county for so long. And then that was the two big things, leaving my dad as the chairperson of the club, and then not actually getting to play with Caroline anymore, which obviously a lot of people just relish the opportunity to get to play with Caroline and all of the girls, but I guess I won't be playing with her again, and I really don't want to play against her.
Well, another girl doing fabulous work on the front line as well, Marian. I'm sure you've been in touch with her over the last little while.
Yeah, just phone calls and a couple of video chats. So she's GPing up in Armagh and bedding down, and yeah, she's doing fine, keeping busy and looking after herself and hoping that she stays that way and those around her as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Marian, on the intercounty front, you enjoyed a considerable degree of success with Armagh, winning All-Ireland title at Croke Park as well along the way. Ulster Championships, but I think you've made a decision not a while back that your intercounty days unfortunately have come to an end. And how tough a decision was that to come to?
Yeah, again, that's always a tough decision as well, because as they say, and it's very true, you're a long time retired. I took a break when I took a year off when I was 29 or 30. I went away for a summer, but I always knew I was going to come back. And then a couple of more years went by, and then I knew when I hung up the orange and white boots that would be it. So yeah, it's definitely it was a tough decision, but I knew I was finding it a little harder with the commuting from work, having to leave on the button, get up to training, be fresh and ready for training, and put in a hard session, and then get in the car and drive straight back. And like I pulled my calf a little bit at one of the training sessions, and then I had to get in the car and drive back. And then the time I got out of the car, like an hour and 40 minutes later, it was so much worse. And I just felt, oh gosh, this is really hard. I wish I had been able to like ice it and rest 2 hours ago. And that kind of made me think, oh gosh, this is the journey is hard. And then obviously I turned 34 in February, so you know, plenty of miles in the legs. So I don't regret the decision, and I get to go and watch some of the Armagh girls games now. But yeah, it's never an easy one to say goodbye to your county days.
But what was the highlight of the Armagh days?
Like I guess, like off the pitch, all of the friendships that you form with the girls. Like I'm still in touch with a lot of the girls after having been in so many battles together, and after just really spending so much time together over the years. So those friendships, I guess, and those battles and those wins and losses together, and then on the pitch, yeah, that intermediate All-Ireland against Waterford was a big one, and then the Ulster final that we got to play in Clones before the men's championship, where we bet Monaghan in the Ulster final a few years ago, was a big one as well. A really glorious sunny day, and thousands of people came into Clones early before the men's game to watch us. So that was a big one for sure.
Brilliant. And when we spoke last, it was a Thursday, if my memory serves me correctly. In an ideal world, and I think that was the first line that I wrote in the piece, in an ideal world, you would have been jetting off the previous day as physio on the TG4 All-Star Tour to Austin. The best laid plans, isn't that one of the old sayings, Marian? I mean, who could have foreseen that something like this would happen? But just to get the call up to the trip, I'm sure you must have been absolutely made up over that one. Yeah,
delighted. Like, the girls from Croke Park had asked me to go and said, look, have a look at it, see if it suits your schedule, see if you can make it. And I said, well, yeah, that's schedule, I can make it. So it wasn't any question in my mind whether I was going to make it work. And then thankfully by the next day I knew I could make it work. So I couldn't believe it that I was asked to go as the physio, and I knew a few of the girls going on the trip, and I've never been to Texas. So that was unbelievable. And then as we watched the events unfold over the next few weeks, and Donald Trump put the ban on countries not including Ireland and the UK, we're thinking, oh yeah, we'll still get. And then it all just escalated, didn't it?
It became a little bit inevitable in the end, didn't it, unfortunately?
Yeah. And you knew even as the days went on that we were never going to get to go. And sure, on that day, by that time, I was in lockdown with coronavirus.
That's right, yeah.
So,
did you get a Stetson? Will you have a Stetson on hold, will you? One of the Stetson hats for Texas.
Yeah, and the boots as well.
Brilliant.
Get them over there.
And Mary, just, maybe this is kind of a deep question to ask, but what have you learned about yourself over the last little while, and having gone through what you've gone through and experienced this? You mentioned the power of friends that have helped you through. What have you kind of discovered about yourself? Because obviously you spend a long time by yourself.
Definitely having like supportive friends and family, as it is for all things in life. It's been lovely, and it's really made it really easy. I always like to be busy. I like my family mess with me by booking into the calendar, ahead or whatever, but I always like to have my days really, really organized. So that's been a challenge. But then now I find that, I can adapt to that. And I've also found that the less I have to do, like the less I do, and I actually find it harder to actually motivate myself to do the little things. So like even the training sessions, normally it's never even a challenge to do a training session, because I fit it into my day. I look forward to it, and prepare before and afterwards and everything. And then now on my days off from work, like today, I haven't done any training or anything yet, but it's a bit harder to get motivated to do it, because so much time and nothing to do, and then the things I do have to do are harder to get myself to do them, which is crazy. So that's probably not a good thing, but I think I have to just get back to even making a little bit more of a schedule, and try to get back to being a little bit more organized.
All right, final question just to finish it off. You've been very good with your time. what is the thing you're most looking forward to when life returns to, will it ever return to the way it was, but something resembling normality? I suppose getting back on the pitch will be one of them, but anything else that you're looking forward to, maybe just being able to go for a coffee with your friends, or, you know, again, some of the things that we've taken so much for granted.
Yeah, so many things that we, as you say, we take them for granted, and they're just normal things. Getting back onto the pitch. We have a thing in work where we're saying when we're light, we're going to go for a few chicken wings and cocktails in one of the bars. And I can't wait to get back up to Camla, up to Carrickcruppen and up to Armagh, and to see my parents and see my nieces and nephews and my sisters. So I've seen them lots on video, but I really miss that actual physical contact, the hugs.
Yeah.
I'm a very touchy-feely person. Maybe as a physio, like, we're more inclined to be hands-on, but I really miss the hugs, so I can't wait. So when we're like to hug, there's going to be lots of hugs coming from me.
Absolutely. How are they all, Marian?
Yeah, they're all really good. They haven't had any scares or anything. And like, the homeschooling is a challenge for my sisters, I think. But my parents are keeping good in their cocoon, as they call it, in at the crossroads. But they're really good. Yeah, thank God.
Excellent. Marian, final question before we finish up. And again, it's great to see you looking so well and talking so well, and obviously very much on the mend and recovered. The reaction, we mentioned off air before starting recording, the reaction that you got to the piece, and I want to thank you for, you know, coming out so openly and honestly about the situation that you found yourself in. Did it come as a surprise to you? You know, maybe the notifications on your phone probably lit up, but what was your reaction to all of that? Yeah,
massively. I was so shocked, like, after our conversation, and you'd said, right, you might get a few messages about this afterwards, but I was thankful that you'd said that, because for the next 2 days my phone was never stopped. All lovely messages from friends, from family, from people, from neighbours here in Cavan, in Armagh, and everyone just being really lovely and saying, look, I hope you're okay. And like, people who had coronavirus as well, a couple of the girls and guys said, oh gosh, yeah, I actually think I have some of those symptoms. I might link in with people, which I was delighted to hear.
That's amazing.
They really just wanted, people to kind of know that you don't have to be breathless and have a cough and those things. You can have some other symptoms as well. So I was really happy about that, and it was really lovely. Oh my gosh, I passed so much quarantine time chatting to people that I hadn't chatted to in months or years in some cases, but everyone, just again, morale and goodwill, it was just so lovely from everybody. So I was really thankful for that. So thanks very much to everybody who sent me lovely messages.
Great. That's a great way to end the conversation, Marian, and thank you so much. We really wanted to catch up with you to see how you were doing. So on your day off, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe and well. And thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Jackie.